All right, so we're going to finish this video by talking about some stuff that we just really aren't sure about. But we can start by reviewing the things that are actually quite clear. We have some really clean cues to manner of articulation, right? Distinguishing vowels from approximants, from plosives, nasals, fricatives, and affricates. These are all very distinctive and can be, it doesn't take long to learn to pick these out when you're looking at a spectrogram of connected speech. Voicing as a cue has a very straightforward acoustic analog in that voicing bar. The big challenge comes in, at least for some of the types of consonants, distinguishing place of articulation with acoustic cues. Not every cue is available in every instance, either because either to our instruments when we're studying speech or to our ears when we're trying to perceive it. And the cues that we use some of them more than others in different situations, and the mapping isn't always completely obvious or transparent. So I've been speaking in kind of comfortable generalities about some of the acoustic properties. One of the goals of this module is to identify particular acoustic signatures for all the different properties of speech sounds, and we haven't really done that. I mentioned with place of articulation, yeah, these formant transitions can tell you some stuff. And we have some general trends, for example, for those main three places of articulation for plosives in English. The bilabials tend to have formants going down as they go into the consonant. Alveolars tend to have the formants going up as they go into the consonant, and velars have F2 and F3 kind of coming together as they go into the consonant. But this is going to vary depending on where the second and third formants lie for the vowels that are neighboring it, right? If the second formant is really low or the third formant is very high, this can affect it. And we're not going to resolve that here, but I just want to point out, the textbook looks at co-articulation between consonants and vowels. It looks at dynamic acoustic cues, things that integrate information from the sound in question and its neighbors sort of all together. And it notes that sounds within a class, such as their example is the voiced German plosives, they sometimes use these things to different degrees. So the B, the D, and the G might not all co-articulate the same amount. So depending on which one you're listening to, you might be able to rely on different cues more or less, which seems a bit circular. How do you know which to rely on if you don't know which sound you have? At this point, it's just important to be aware of these difficulties. We'll come back to them again in the speech perception module because, unsurprisingly, whatever speakers put into the acoustic signal is something that listeners can use to try to understand the message at the other end. Okay, but for now, just be aware that, yeah, there are some unresolved issues. Isn't that fun?